I was afraid to start Life is Strange Double Exposure. I pre-ordered it well in advance and I downloaded it on day one, but it took me a whole week to emotionally and somewhat physically prepare myself to sit down and play through it. And it's not that I didn't have time or anything like that. I had the whole week off from work, but I just wasn't sure if I was ready to start it yet. Almost 6 years ago to this day, I sat down and played Life is Strange for the first time. If I was to describe it as anything, Life is Strange would be my touchstone game. The game that affected me on an emotional level more than any other game has ever been able to. And that was in part why I was afraid to start this one. I've played Life is Strange 2 in True Colors. I skipped Before the Storm, but mostly because I'm not sure if I'd be able to handle it knowing what I know from the original. And there were things that I liked about both of those games, and there were also things I didn't like. But I was okay with that because they were new main characters in new locations with mostly new people. I mean, there was the odd cameo here and there, but none of that was ever game-changing. However, Double Exposure was different. This was returning to one of, you know what, screw it, my favorite protagonist of all time. So yes, I was afraid to play it. I was afraid I wasn't going to like it, and I was afraid that it would feel too different and that I'd hate the new experience, and because of that, it would change my feelings towards the original. You know what? I was wrong. I still feel that the original is the strongest and best written Life is Strange game. I mean, for me, it created this powerful balance between hope, good vibes, shock, and despair, and probably also helps that it is one of the very first story-focused Choices Matters games that I ever really did play and get into, but Double Exposure was still a great experience. They captured the essence of Max Caulfield, gave a great cast of supporting characters. They made me dislike and at times hate different ones, but by the time the end of the game came around, I couldn't help myself but feel for everyone in different ways, even though there are still some that that I kind of dislike. But everyone felt flawed and everyone felt human. And I love and hate that there was almost never a time where I felt I was making a right or wrong decision, because everything felt like it came with its own sense of consequences. So all I was able to do in the moment was try and pick the option that I felt fit best based on the decisions I'd been making up to that point. But the one thing I missed more than anything else in this latest installment, spoiler alert for anyone not familiar with any of the Life is Strange content. In fact, if you haven't played any of them, I'm going to spoil a bunch here, so stop the video now. But I really miss Chloe and Kate, and I was really hoping I could have gotten some more closure on both of them. In my playthrough of the original, I was able to help Kate, and then when making it to the end, while it hurt a lot, I chose to save the town because I felt it was truly what Chloe would have wanted me to do. I still remember having to get up and walk away for a while and think about the decision. And it was probably an hour or two that I left it sitting there before I was able to come back and pick, but it hit me hard. In Double Exposure, I really liked how, even though I didn't get to interact directly with these two characters, I got to see Victoria posting things online. And from some of her responses, it kind of gave a little bit of closure on her story. And then we got messages from Joyce, and it was really nice. I mean, there were even some little snippets of events between the original and this one. And I was really hoping there'd be more closure towards the ending of the original from Max, or hearing from Kate in some sort of way. Even if it was just this brief moment where Safi turned into Chloe just to mess with us, I would have been okay with that, even if I'd just been able to see her once again. You know, I can still feel the empty weight in the pit of my stomach when I think about what the characters had to go through in the first Life is Strange. Now that I've finished Double Exposure, I'm not sure if I like how it exactly ended, and I'm kind of sad that we didn't get to see more with the detective, because he was this really interesting character and created some of the best scenarios and dynamics that I had in the game. But at least I am happy to know that my journey with Max Caulfield possibly isn't over yet.